What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, as you can see from that tweet, this was November the 27th at 9:52 in the morning, 2022. And this video is basically being made in reference to people that, for whatever reason, love to just make these false narratives and switch and lie about what was said and done. A misunderstanding can be just that. But when people are constantly just saying the wrong things over and over and trying to push that, no, this is what happened, well, then I have no problem with getting receipts. You know, this basically was a chat that we were having where it was being said Dimitri Bivol is scared to fight Canelo at 168 pounds because he knows that's Canelo's best weight and he's more comfortable. Canelo is too small for 175. Canelo wants to fight at 168 and Dimitri Bivol doesn't. And immediately I knew these people were just casual fanboys that didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Okay. Bivol didn't call out Canelo in the first place initially. Canelo called out Bivol because with the franchise ducky mandatory championship, he has that privilege to go up and down. Not the right, the privilege, because that's what the WBC does with that franchise championship. So he wanted to fight Bivol for his belt. Win, lose, or draw, he loses nothing at 168. He lost. Now, the rematch at 175 would make more sense for Canelo in terms of trying to accomplish what he failed to do the first time against Bivol, which is win the championship at 175. He still loses nothing at 168. Now, Bivol has absolutely nothing to prove. He accepted the challenge and he won. Bivol beat him again. You see the same excuses. I'm not a 175 pounder. At 168, I'm unbeatable. So it doesn't matter if someone has to drain themselves to come down to him or a guy way too small has to come up to him. Okay, 168 is my house. So pretty much as long as he's comfortable, whatever happens to both fighters being able to make the weight with no problem, right? Well, I'm not going for the 175, him being too small excuse, because he wasn't too small when he beat Kovalev. So at the end of the day, like he said, the excuses of it's not my weight class, then I didn't get a good training camp, which he said all these things. Then he had an issue with his arm. These are things that came out of Canelo's mouth, plain and simple. And this stuff is on the internet for all to see. Okay, I'm not going to sit up here and chop and screw these videos. I don't feel like doing that right now. And no matter how much facts and proof you bring, you always have a bunch of people, but, which is like, listen, if you don't have a thinking process, don't even ask me the question or make a stupid comment that I'm not going to respond to anyway, simply because the proof is the proof. Facts are facts, not your opinion, not your strong, opinion of what you think, but the facts are the facts. So, basically, for Bivol, it only makes sense if he goes to 168 and fight Canelo if the belt's on the line. Mauricio Sulaiman already clearly made that clear that he will not partake in allowing Canelo to put the WBC title up against Bivol being a Russian. We already know that. That has nothing to do with if it's for any one of the other titles or just bragging rights alone, just for Canelo to be able to say, I beat him. And pretty much, I don't care if it's 175 or 168. Bivol will beat him regardless, in my opinion. All right, so at the end of the day, Canelo, like all the fighters always say, I'm the boss, right? If I want a fight, I'll make the fight happen. So even if the WBC won't sanction, meaning that, like I said, that won't let the WBC be on the line, that doesn't mean Canelo can't fight Bivol at 168. He doesn't want to fight him at 168. Because again, if he loses, which I'm pretty sure he would, I really strongly feel, but you never know, right? But I feel strongly that he just can't beat Bivol. He still doesn't lose his titles at 168. If there was no belts on the line, right, it would just be for bragging rights. But even if there were the other belts or one of the other belts or however, two of the other belts, whatever, okay, it does nothing for Bivol. It really, I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, it does in the sense of, look, we already knew you could beat him. You understand? Now I beat you at 168 where you say you're the king. Now what's your excuse now? They'll find an excuse. Oh, Canelo's not the same. He's older now. If you saw the John Ryder fight, he did damage to John Ryder and he pretty much beat him up, but he was getting cracked himself. Now, there's no debating on who won. And no, it wasn't a close fight, but he took some shots and pretty much was getting he got his face pretty bruised up as well. John was getting the shots in. Now, I'm pretty sure anybody with common sense watched that fight, came to the conclusion, nah, Bivol will beat him again. Now, you can wish and hope and cross your fingers and do all that good stuff. It doesn't make a difference. But that is the reason the fight's not happening at 168. No, it's not because Mauricio Sulaiman won't sanction the WBC. Okay? They won't. This WBC won't sanction a fight with him. Mauricio can't stop Canelo from fighting at 168 against Dimitri Bivol. That's a fallacy. So the truth is, no, the WBC won't be on the line, but he can't stop Canelo from fighting. Okay. And the lie and the falsehood is that Dimitri Bivol turned the fight down at 168. No, Dimitri Bivol want the fight at 168 because he don't want the excuses. He has nothing to prove at beating him at 175 again. It's expected, and then after it happens, the excuses will be the same and some more added to it. So there you see it. There's nothing else to really say. No, he was not the one who turned the fight down. It was Canelo. And this was way before Mauricio Sulaiman just a couple of weeks ago made this known that that the WBC will not sanction a fight with Dimitri Bivol and Canelo. But he cannot stop Canelo from fighting. The WBC just won't be on the line. Get it right. Stop with all of the trying to make excuses for your favorite fighters. That's all that is. So you saw it right there. From November 27th, 9:52 a.m., 2022. That was not this year. That was last year. Mauricio Sulaiman's comments about not sanctioning that fight with Dimitri Bivol and Canelo for the title was last month. Okay, what was last month? May. That was not last year. That was this year. Dimitri Bivol's tweet was from November of 2022. Enough said. Catch y'all on the next video.